Space has been expanded here on the Just Create SMP. I mean, just look at the changes that have happened thus far. We now have auto crafting, auto grafting, auto shafting, and believe it or not, even auto boinking. And all of this automation has just made me want to automate even more. And I am having a blast doing it. So speaking of automating more, check out this upper floor. Okay, the episode's turning into a Dr. Seuss book, but at the moment I have laid out a few more crafting modules and some ideas for modules too. For example, this would be a really cool module. This right here is a vanilla crafter, and we could request like a 2x2 craft, for example, to be able to make things like granite. This is going to be really simple. A package just will carry the exact ingredients needed, send it into the crafter with those exact mounts. They should go in the order that are listed here. And if we did a single, it should go in the order there. And then this, we just send it to craft really fast. And that should just spill all of the crafted items out here. That's a really nifty way of doing automations for crafts that don't utilize the slow process here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I could use a mixer for the same recipe, but you know what? I think this is actually faster than the mixer. Okay, but today is gonna be more than just automating, because we're gonna have plenty of things that we can build recipe fors and plenty of modules that we can build throughout today. But the main goal for today is definitely going to be getting some crop farms set up. And over here, I have sort of laid out where I think would be a really nice spot to have some rotaty spinny crops. What crops specifically? Well, we're definitely going to need a wheat farm, so that way we can make slime balls. And then I'm also going to need a sugarcane farm, well, or kelp farm right here. Sugarcane probably is going to go right here, and then kelp possibly right here and make this look more like a pond. But kelp we are going to need for belts. And then sugarcane, well, that's going to be needed for paper. We can make paper and automate the crafting of books. And we can also use sugarcane, believe it or not, to make cardboard. And so in preparation for this, I've actually automated vaults. Vaults are incredibly important for Create, and all I had to do to automate the vaults is just tell it to link to my iron sheets and also craft up some barrels. And so this just gets handled with the regular crafting over here. It's very simple to just add something new. Speaking of adding new, yes, I've started to add a bunch of create machines because all of the prior ingredients for stuff we already have. We just have to tell it, well, where to get them, which is from this board right here, and then where to craft it at, which is these two crafters right here. So far, we have a really solid foundation in getting just about anything we want crafted. And you know what? Before we start working on those farms and getting our spinny farms up and running, I kind of want to finish off some of these modules, specifically this one. Yes, the Precision Mechanism Maker. Now, I want to show this one very specifically. This is going to be the Precision Mechanism Maker, and we are going to need to keep in mind the height of our chain. And this is going to be something that is going to be limiting because of the way that this needs to receive items. We're going to want items kind of built up off the side, and I think the best way to handle this is by sending the items to be stored inside of a barrel and then using a hopper to just get the items into the deployer. The deployer will hold 64, by the way, and then the hopper can hold up to, I believe, 5 stacks also. Yes, so we can hold 5 separate stacks, and then what we want is we want to make sure to keep about a stack or so inside of these barrels. And this is where we're going to have to place in packagers sort of on the sides of these barrels, just to make sure that we're not too high. We want to make sure that we can actually detect this. And I actually want this on the outer chain because it's going to be sending this all up. And yes, all of these frogs should be able to reach. Yes, as you can see right there, perfect. This setup, it's going to be a little bit different because the only thing we want to send to this is going to be the sheets. And then we want this sheet to be processed, which means that we need to use our main vault down here, and we need to request and keep a certain amount of items in stock. So yet again, here we go. By utilizing our main actual network, we can connect to this particular stock link. And much like we did it for the bottom to send to this floor, we can also regulate and keep certain amounts of items in stock inside of the inventories up here. And so I do want to keep these in a particular order. So this one right here will have a gauge on it, a gauge on this one, and on this one, which is going to be checking the inventory for cogwheels on this one, checking the inventory for large cogwheels inside of that, And then in this one, checking for iron nuggets. And then, like I said, we just want to keep a stack in stock, like so. And that's basically saying, hey, there's not any, but we also don't have addresses. So before it can send anywhere, we do have to give this an address, just to keep that in mind. And we do have to label our frogs. I have my frogs labeled and we can select them here. So mech cogwheel, this one is going to be mech large cogwheel, and then this one is just going to be mech nugget. Perfect. Now we can set this to request and we shouldn't encounter any problems. And this should just keep requesting and it's going to send. And the goal is that the items go in and then the hopper is going to drain them. As it starts to drain them, new requests are going to be sent because it is going to notice that the promise was met. And it's just going to continue until this entire thing is completely filled, which is exactly what we want. And I can even filter here technically. So I've just added the vault into the back, throw this in so we can grab out our incomplete precision mechanisms, place that as the filter. And that right there is just about everything. I've named this mech crafter. And so now, I mean, honestly, making precision mechanisms is something that we can now do with our auto crafting system. But this is where things will get a little bit tricky. And that's because we have to worry about promises. So I have my precision mechanism recipe set up. I have my location defined, and then we're just going to add that gold sheets is all that's needed in order to make this. Thing is, there's a percentage-based chance that this will fail in its craft. And unfortunately, if it does fail, we'll never get the promise back. So we can actually set a duration for a promise to expire. For example, we can set this to, if it never comes back after 2 minutes, then this will be canceled and a new promise will be sent. And so this is something that we do have to do in order to potentially get one back. And so all I have to do now is say, okay, well, I want at least 1 or 2 to be in stock. We can say for now 8. Let's keep 8 in stock at any given time. And so it should send the ingredients all the way up to our new chain line, which it is going up there. I can see it clearly. Perfect. And it has now taken the new items and is sending it along. Now, something I do want to put into here is going to be, which I think I have one, a threshold switch. Perfect. So just like I did in my other room, I'm going to put the threshold switch and we are going to set this to items. And we want to make sure that only 8 at a time ever make it through. And then we'll let it release the redstone signal after that has finished all of those crafts. And perfect. So now it is literally working on precision mechanisms, slowly sending them all and crafting them, which is, I mean, that's just a thing of beauty right there. But yes, this is our first introduction though into that system that, like I was meaning, that talking about promises. It's our first introduction into needing to even use promises. Man, once I get to automating, I can't stop. And this is one of those things right here. So I do want to talk also about this crafter and how we could actually utilize it in a very small form factor. It only takes up a 2x2 that you can see right here. And this can be used to auto craft things that are small. For example, like I said, that granite. So to set up the recipe for the granite, it shouldn't be too difficult for us to do. Something that you may notice is the crafter does give off a redstone signal, so it is pulsing the packager, but because the crafter doesn't have an internal inventory for the output, it never can pull a package of anything out of here. It immediately sends it into this inventory, which is then being pulsed way less, right? We're essentially going to be pulsing this, not every 10 ticks, but every 10 seconds. And so I'm just going to call this Granite Crafter, and we are going to need granite. I mean, that is something that is going to be necessary down the road. So down here, I've placed in my granite, and I've selected my 2 different locations for which the items are in here. And then this is just called the Granite Crafter. And I believe I got the name right. If I didn't, I can always go up and copy it, or I should be using a clipboard, honestly. But I'm pretty excited to see this. So let's just say we want to keep like 4 stacks in stock. So that should send a beautiful pulse that is going to carry it up through here, go along, then be picked up. And then what we should see is granite being crafted, in my opinion, pretty darn quick. And notice there is no packages that are coming back out or anything like that. This is just simply sending. One thing that I am noticing is that I had this inverted, so it was just sending it nonstop. But now it should be exactly, yeah, what I was expecting. Like, it's only going to send every now and then in nice, larger batches. But I mean, that's pretty fast right there. I mean, that is crafting incredibly quickly. And I kind of wonder how many other recipes this would be applicable to. I don't know though. To finish off the other ones, these are just regular compactors that are going to be making things like brick. Instead of me having the brick being made in a crafter, one of these, I can instead have the brick made inside of a compactor, which is going to be a lot better. So this is going to compact all of our stuff. So I'm going to take a list filter, and for now, I'm just going to place this in, and this is going to be housing inside of our packer one. This is just going to be housing the brick. So I get to pop over to here, and we are going to change this destination to packer and then remove this from the mechanical crafting. And then instead of what I currently have where it's 4:1, I think I'm going to set this to 64, and then this should equal 16 because it is divided by 4. Now, if I pull some bricks out, that should jumpstart our brick production, which is going to send another batch. If we can just follow this, follow the entire line. Is the package coming? There it goes. That gets pulled. And then that gets hit. Wow, I need to really stay away from there. There we go. The timing on that. And there's the bricks being made, which is pretty quick, honestly. So now about those spinny farms. Our automation is already paying off because, look, I have plenty of harvesters, which we are going to need for just about all of the farms we're going to build over here. And I was going to need some mechanical bearings, so I just added another factory gauge here, set it for the crafts, and set it to 16. And so it's just going to start crafting some mechanical bearings. It's so good. So you know what? I think it's time to start clearing some land. So I've got the road in, but now I want to start working on the kelp farm itself. So the kelp farm, I'm essentially going to be making a skimmer, something that is going to run along the top of the water and skim off any of the, well, excessively grown kelp. These farms, by the way, are 15 by 15. So I started off the center and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out, meaning that you have 7 and 7, 14, and then 15 in the middle. Now the max water level is going to be up to here, and these do need a block to place on, and I am going to have this rotating in a clockwise motion. And so I want them to be like this, and then we can sort of remove this and decorate on the other side. Technically, I could get away with having only one side, but I think having two just looks so cool. Now for the main storage, I want to utilize a item vault, and then we have some chutes that I basically clicked off the side of, and then it gives us this nice little platform. Then I want to lay down some shafts just like this. Perfect. And then I want to use some metal brackets, which I did just automate, by the way. And so when we click these on here, we'll notice that connects really nicely. This also makes me want to use this to also connect some more brackets. So I'm going to run brackets along the back and connect this in where it looks like it's all being held together with this shaft. Now on one side of this farm, I am going to place a storage interface and yes, do the exact same thing where I run and then have a bracket that connects it to the back. This storage interface, by the way, can reach up to 2 blocks. So that means we can have another interface that is 1, 2, 3 blocks on top, and it should be able to connect to another one, which I do plan on hooking into a silo. All that's left is I have my water wheel down at the bottom and then a mechanical bearing, so that way we can send that rotation through all of this stuff. Now, very interestingly, what is going to end up happening here is we need to turn this into a full contraption. Once the contraption is complete, I need to then fill this hole so that way water doesn't fall down in here, because we are going to be waterlogging this whole area. Everything is now nice and glued up, so all I need to do is click this and that turns it all into a spinning contraption. Oh, this looks so cool already from the bottom. And then what I want is to only place when anchor is destroyed. As of right now, we shouldn't have to worry about it being destroyed, but I am going to fill this in. And you can see this is now spinning on the bottom, so we can fill this whole thing with water, and we don't have to worry about it going down and breaking our water wheel. This right here is a work of art. Perfect. And all I need to do now is just place in all of my kelp, and this kelp is going to grow, and it's going to grow and reach the top edge of this water, and then this is going to constantly just skim off any new growth that does happen. Oh, it's such a good farm. Now, as far as collecting items, and this is going to go for just about all of our farms, we have vertical vaults this season, and I am super excited to be able to use these. Look at this. We can take this all the way up, and I don't know how tall they can be. Looks like that is max height right there, but that looks so nice. And then I can connect this to the bottom corner and then attach a funnel, and like this should be able to easily pull all of our stuff directly out. And it's super fitting. Like this fits surprisingly well. Look at that. And it's just going to lead it right into the vault. And yeah, we can use another andesite funnel here to pull it in to the vault. Perfect. And then just add some scaffold to the bottom, and that's a clean setup. And you know, for some added aesthetic, we can give ourselves some supports and like place a bracket on here where it looks like it's held off of the side. Oh, that's so nice. With the kelp farm basically done, it's time to move on to the sugarcane farm. And sugarcane has a really interesting pattern. If you want to maximize the amount of sugarcane that you have in a given space, you start with a hole, and it kind of works like the knight in checkers, where you go 1, 2, and then you go over 1, or you can go over the other way. You just have to be consistent with it. So I've gone here, you go 1, 2, and then over 1, and then same thing, down 2, over 1, down 2, over 1, and just keep repeating that pattern. Now, because our kelp farm is spinning clockwise, I want this one to spin counterclockwise. So I do want to make it opposite, but the way this is going to function, it's going to look just like this one, but we do need it 1 block high, so that way the sugarcane itself lays here. That way all of our harvesters harvest the one that grows directly above it. This one, by the way, is going to work the exact same way. We've got to glue it all together, and then I want to close this off so that way I can place water directly in the middle slot. This is going to make it so all of my sugarcane can be planted around it. And I think we have it. Okay, so we just need this spinning. Yeah, this is spinning the correct way, because this one right here is spinning the other direction. Yes, this is spinning perfect. Place the water in the center spot there. That shouldn't affect the bearing or anything fancy like that. Perfect. And then we get to start placing all of the sugarcane in. Oh, I almost forgot. Yes, we are going to need a way to get items out of this, so I forgot to put the portable interface in it. Aha, that's much better. Perfect. But now I should be able to plant a bunch of sugarcane, as much as I currently have on me anyways. After getting the sugarcane, it's time for our wheat farm. And the wheat farm is going to produce more than just wheat. It's going to produce seeds, but it's also going to produce some stuff from Farmer's Delight, which we are going to have to handle later on. But as of right now, I just want to get this in, and this is going to be ground level, and I'm going to keep this one much like our kelp farm, and I want to make this one go clockwise. So I'm kind of going clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise to kind of make it look a little bit better in case anybody was looking at it from like a hilltop or a top-down view. It should, yeah, give some variance to the spinning. And again, once everything's all together, just glue the whole thing, and this is going to be just about ready. Now, something the harvesters don't do is automatically till the ground. That's something we're going to have to manually do, or I could have included plows on here, but a one-time use for the plow just doesn't really seem super useful. So typically, what I'll do is stand on the thing. So we activate like this. It is now up and spinning, and like I said, I will stand on it, look forward, and it will just till where I'm looking. And we just continue this, and we should be able to get a perfect path. Ah, very nice. And honestly, the same goes for seeding the entire area. I can just, yeah, look down and seed the whole thing while writing. Oh, this is looking so good. Everything is growing. All of my stuff is now working, but we are going to need a way to get the product from these vaults into our main vault, because remember, this is all technically set up here so that way we can automate. So I need to connect this chain over to this chain so that way we can have some frogs that get hooked up and can end up making their way into the main vault all the way through this. Just like all of our other setups, all we're going to need is a packager that's looking into the actual vault itself, and then we can place a stock link just like so, and then frog on here. Well, after we link the frog, that is, because this is primarily going to be just sending. This should never receive anything. Just like we've done for our bottom section, this right here will be linked to this. That is going to be wheat. Then we're going to do sugarcane, and then this network over here, which I know they all could technically be linked together. I'm just keeping them separate. I think it's just easier to understand this way. But we could technically link all of those links to each other, which, I mean, in my opinion, that does start to get a little bit more confusing. But if we think about it as each individual one is looking into an inventory, I think it makes it so much easier to understand. So we place these on here, and then we just need to drag in the thing that we want. So for example, wheat, we are going to need to take wheat, bring that in, and then we just need to say main, and then we want to keep a stack in stock, if at all possible, inside of the list. And we'll see that frog now sent one out, and it's going to come back into the system and be stored in here. Just keeping a stack of it, though, in stock. And then we'll do the same for sugarcane, and finally for kelp. Now that we have these new resources in, we just unlocked stage 2, in my opinion, and the reason is because we now have the ability to auto-craft funnels and tunnels and all kinds of other, like, advanced logistical items. And also with wheat coming in, we just unlocked the ability to now auto-craft slime balls. And that means automatic frog ports we can make. And with the sugarcane, we now have the ability to auto-craft cardboard. Again, we can now make packagers. We don't have a way of keeping redstone in stock, but we could easily create a vault and store some in from our redstone farm. And then this could do requests where it pulls from said redstone vault, and if it's empty, it will just not be able to craft the things we want it to craft. What's up?
You've been busy. Jeez.
Busy?
I don't know. I'm not surprised, to be fair.
This is my starter workshop.
I know. It's advanced. What more is there to do, Chosen?
Oh, this. Yes.
Do I even want to know?
Oh, let's go this way. I just worked on this. Yes. I got new paths.
Ooh, silos.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad that we have these.
Oh, they are nice.
Yes, it is so good. And like, it doesn't store too much, but like fits so well next to the farms.
Oh yeah.
Ah, it's great. Anyways, yes, this is the thing that's even more advanced.
Yeah, no, I've seen, I've seen this.
Actually, just added a new module.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It makes.
Oh boy.
It makes these things up at the top.
Oh. So when's the shop ready? When can I spend my life savings here?
Soon. I'm gonna put it on the very top floor this season. But it's gonna be like a penthouse up there. It'll happen.
Anyways, I actually did come for some advice or to look at something, because I've heard that you made a drill that places torches.
Yes.
How does that work?
It works with this, with a very specific schematic and quill. Yeah, you need a pattern schematic.
Okay.
We need flat land too. And do you have a drill and a torch plate thing set up?
Yeah, I do.
We need somewhere rather flat, like at least like a 9x9 flat area, give or take.
Oh yeah. Come with me.
Everyone's running around with elytras. I don't have an elytra. What? Everyone with the elytra? Everyone's got all these elytras. They already went to the end and all that fun stuff, and I'm over here like I'm just setting up all this stuff. Everybody's got elytras. What it is?
Wait,
you know, I'm just over here just wandering with my feet and all that stuff. Huh?
No, hey.
What?
Stand still. Wait.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah, this is nice. There's a very specific pattern, which is funny because when I built mine, I didn't do it this way, but I was told shortly after, this is how you do it. Doesn't matter what orientation you build your schematic in, but you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a diagonal. On a grid. And then you take your schematic, select both corners, and then you create your schematic with it. So there's the schematic in Quill.
Okay.
And then you name it like torches, torch placer. And then you got to use this fancy thing.
Okay.
You got to load schematic from your schematic table into that.
Do you need this back?
Or you can use mine. Doesn't matter.
Yay.
I don't know if mine is set up. I think mine's set up to a 7x7, but the bigger you make it, the wider the spread.
This is the deployer that I want placing it. So do I just put this in here?
Yes. This goes in the where you normally filter items. It just goes in that slot after you've placed it down first. So like set the
so is it important where I place it?
It just has to be placed.
Okay. And then I put it in there.
Yep. And then it should just work no matter where you place it now.
Oh, sick.
Yep.
Yay.
And it should place it like every 9.
Yeah. All right, toodles.
Might. After that lovely visit, it was time to get back to work, and that means setting more things up so that way we can get these things automated. I've set up some mixers so that way we can actually start doing some of those things. First things first, right here, I have a water mixer. All I have to do is get some power down into this mechanical pump, which should be easy once we get this powered up top. Then I have 3 other mixers. This is going to be a heated mixer, which is used for a lot of cooking recipes and also some things, for example, like slime balls into magma cream. And then we also have this, which is going to receive lava. And this is going to be used for block mixing, which will allow us to make things like tuff and also dripstone. This pipe, by the way, runs all the way down to the bottom here. And all I got to do to hook this in is connect our pipe up to this bottom section. So there we go. That is now connected. I remove these and that should be good. Perfect. We now have lava, I believe, making its way all the way up there. Yes, the blaze burner is on. Now the frog ports, I have these labeled water mixer, heated mixer, and then lava mixer 1 and 2. I've gone ahead and made a crusher module. So I have my crusher module now set up. All things should be looking good. So now we have the ability to crush things along with everything else we have the ability to do. All of this automation is so nice because now I can make things like cardboard, for example. So we can make pulp from the cardboard, which, by the way, this is stamped. So we have our pulp. We need to make pulp first, and pulp is going to be by using sugarcane and water inside of here to make this. So all we have to say is sugarcane is what's needed in order to craft this. And how many sugarcane? I believe it's 4 to make 1. And we say water mixer is all we have to assign this to. So just to make sure, pulp, it is 1 pulp with 4 of any of these items and the water. And so now this right here should be ready to rock and roll and keep a certain amount of pulp in stock, assuming that we have enough here. Do I want to send more than just 1 at a time? I think so. So you know what? We're going to set this to at least 4 at a time. And then this is also going to have to increase. So we'll set this to 16, right? That way we make enough to make 1 box or 1 solid packager each time. Then we'll just set it to try and keep a stack of pulp in stock maybe, or actually we'll try and keep 16 pulp in stock. We'll see how it goes. We have to kind of start slow whenever we first get started. Now with our pulp, we can take this and make actual cardboard by just sending it into our press. Oh my goodness. All of this work, I love how this is all like coming together. So we'll add that. So now it's 1 pulp to this. And you know what? I'll set this to 4 so that we have that in order. And it'll send a bulk of 4. And then we'll just say keep 16 of those in stock, which should send it over here into our pressing system. Oh, this is great. Perfect. All right, frog grabbed it. cardboard gets made, gets sent back into the mall. And we also need to make slime balls now that we have the wheat. And so we want to make sure wheat flour goes into here because that's what we were going to craft from wheat and send into our crusher. The thing is, this does generate some other byproducts that we do have to keep in mind and we'll deal with later on down the road. The main thing we want is we know that it is a guaranteed 1-to-1. So what we do is we disregard the fact that we could get bonuses and just make sure that it always knows to send 64 and expect to get this back, and any bonus is just going to be a nice touch. So I'll add my wheat as a connection, and then we know that this is going to be sending 64 and then gets us 64 back. There's the crusher. We have the location identified, and we just want to keep a stack of this in stock. And look at that package go right into the crusher. Then I want to make some dough, which is going to have to go through our washing process. Then finally, slime balls, which will send that dough that we just made into our coloring. So we now have the coloring added there. And all we have to do is request and to keep a stack in stock. And this whole process is incredibly satisfying to see happen. There's our dough that just got made, and then coming around, there we go. There's our dough being turned into slime balls. After all is said and done, we can set this to crafter 1, and we now have automated frogs. This could not get any better. Look at that. This place is turning out so nice. And there's so many more things that I want to add to this building, and then also add the building to the building. We still have that part to do. But I think for today, this is a pretty good wrap-up point. I got some mega farms made, some awesome auto crafts done, and more lovely conversations had with my server mates. But there is just so much more to do. We have so many more things that we can get automated, and a couple more modules that we definitely need built into this for it to fully work. Plus also getting the build in. So if that's something you're looking forward to, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. And now with that, it's time for me to thank the amazing supporter that makes episodes like these possible. And that huge thanks is going to go out to Donna. Thank you so much for choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and just supporting in one of the best ways possible. Thank you so very much. And guys, I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.